Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I've got a review of Mania, the revised edition by Lucas Mangum. Now, this was sent to me by Lucas in exchange for an honest review, so thank you, Lucas, and I will do my best. So that being said, instead of reading the synopsis on the back, I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about what the book is about, and then I will give you my thoughts on it. Now, that being said, this is my second time making this video, and I realized when I was watching the replay of the first one that I told you about the book, but I didn't really tell you what I thought about the book, alright? So anyway, first off, you got a prologue. And in the prologue, you got this guy that is knocking on his friend's door. He's banging on the door. He's not getting an answer. He goes in. Finally, he goes into his friend's apartment or house. I think it's an apartment. This is in Hollywood, so I'm figuring apartment. Anyway, and he finds his friend, and his friend is just totally messed up. He's hurt. He's hurt bad. All right. So that being said, usually with a prologue is kind of something that it gives you kind of a glimpse into something is going to happen later on in the book. And that's exactly what this does. All right, so let's not talk about the prologue anymore, okay? Let's get to the heart of the matter. Okay, you got this filmmaker, William Ward, and he's kind of been out of the public eye. He hasn't had a hit, I think, in like 5 years. And he goes to visit this kind of mysterious gentleman by the name of Mr. Whale, which personally I think Mr. Whale was probably an homage to James Whale, the director of Frankenstein. Not 100% sure on that. And also he may also be an homage to Forrest J. Ackerman, the founder of Fangoria magazine. All right. So, yeah, I believe it's Fangoria magazine. Oh, Famous Monsters of Filmland. I am sorry about that, because this Mr. Will is a very distinguished gentleman, and he's also a collector of horror movie props and memorabilia, and so is Forrest J. Ackerman. So a little bit of combination between James Whale and Forrest Ackerman, all right? Anyway, he buys this screenplay called Mania. So it's a little bit meta. It's a book about a screenplay, and it's also called Mania. A little bit meta there. Okay. So the screenplay is supposed to be haunted, all right? And so he buys it, and he's going to make a movie based off of the screenplay. So he gets his girlfriend, and he hires her to be the leading lady, which is not unusual. She's been in a lot of his movies and stuff, and he's going to have her play the lead role in the film, all right? So the screenplay, what it is about this girl who comes to Hollywood all starry-eyed and full of wonder with dreams and hopes of being a star. But instead what happens, she is murdered. All right? Okay, there you go. So, during the course of making this movie, all kinds of things start happening, and they're not good things either. Okay? The director, he starts seeing, like he's watching this movie with a friend of his. Okay? And instead of seeing what's going on in the movie, he sees something else entirely different. He sees this blonde-headed girl where the character in the movie is a dark-haired woman played by Isabella Johnny. He's watching the movie Possession that stars Sam Neill and Isabella Johnny, all right? And so he's seeing things. His girlfriend starts seeing things like this kind of desiccated-looking corpse of this girl. Just all kind of, there's a fire on set. His friend is murdered in a very unusual way, and I'll just say that oral sex is involved, and that is all I'm going to say about that particular scene. You have to read it to believe it. It's pretty cool. All right. So yeah, and he decides he wants to try to get to the bottom of things and find out what's going on, because there's something definitely very supernatural going on. And yes, there is a ghost in this story. There is definitely a ghost, and I like the way the ghost is presented, because throughout little bits and pieces of the book, it gives you kind of a glimpse to let you know that she is present, that she is there, watching, waiting, just doing, and yeah, it lets you know about her presence. All right, let me see. I'm going to find a little bit here. I usually don't read prose. I usually don't read the prose from a book, and I'm not going to read much because I don't want to spoil too much. But I like the first time you get an introduction to her, and I'm just going to read a little bit. She wakes from sleep deeper than death. Dormant since the last calling, she hungers for sustenance, the life force, the faith, the fear. Not yet strong enough to feed, she watches. She waits. So yeah, like I said, there's definitely a ghost in this thing. And it's a pretty gnarly ghost. Pretty awesome ghost, if you ask me. So, yeah, to get to the bottom of things, he like I said, he basically has to get to the bottom of things. And he talks to the right people and stuff. And he find out that there's this whole big thing involving this death cult. And his father, his deceased father. And pretty well toward the end of the book, the proverbial shit pretty much hits the fan. And yeah, and I'm not going to go any further. That's it. That's pretty much the story. All right. I really enjoyed the story. I give it 4 stars. I love ghost stories like this that aren't your typical ghost story. Instead of, oh, there's a ghost haunting the house, or there's a ghost haunting the person or whatever. You have a ghost that is pretty much haunting something you just don't expect. Like, well, never mind. I'm not going to say that. Anyway, yeah, but a haunted screenplay. I mean, that's pretty damn original, if you ask me. That is pretty freaking original. And if it has been done before, I don't know. But I think it's pretty original. I really enjoyed the story. As you can tell, I recommend it, definitely. It's a really short, it's like 126 pages. Now, there is, in the revised edition, there is a short story at the end of the book, and it's called Hollywood Blood and Guts. And I didn't read that. I haven't read that one yet. I will read it. I probably won't review it. But it's basically a continuation of the story. But I wanted to concentrate more on the main story because that is what I told Lucas I would do. And the revised edition, he does have a little bit of a forward, or he does have a forward where he talks about that he basically cleaned up the grammar and kind of tweaked a few things. And yeah, anyway, so yes, that is my review for Mania. 4 stars, Lucas Mangum. And anyway, I thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.